So everyone from all over the world is just out with one complaint, and that they are all brutally bored. Funnily, we all wanted some time off, but not this much really. Life is getting more and more boring with every passing minute for most of us. However, we have an awesome remedy for you. Given the present lockdown situation and the quarantine that most of us must observe, we are going to reintroduce you to games in which you not just enjoy your time at home, but be absolutely thrilled and look forward to being locked up in the house again. It's unfortunate that technology has taken over us to this degree that we barely make social interactions. And the games we play, more often than not, are on applications or PlayStations, reducing our social interaction even more. In order to make memories, it is extremely important to do fun things with other people. In this video, we will share with you our pick of 10 super fun games and activities for you when you're in quarantine. Watch this video till the end, cause the last point is the most entertaining one. Welcome to WatchTop10.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you can stay updated with our latest videos. Number 10. Clue. I am sure most of you are aware of this mysterious game. As times have changed and technology has emerged, this wonderful game has somewhere been lost in the background. But nevertheless, it is most certainly worth reviving. Interestingly, during the UK air raids of World War II, this rather engaging game was created. A musician, a fire warden, and a factory worker were all held up in a house in Birmingham, similar to our quarantine situation today. They soon turned this into a board game while waiting for things to calm down on the aerial front. There's another non-board game version of this incredible game where you select someone randomly from the crowd to be a killer. Then select a murder weapon for the poor guy who you just tuned into a murderer, and this weapon of his must be something that he's got access to, like a fire extinguisher near him or something like that. After that you need to tell your partner about location and scenario of the murder. Then let them figure out who the murderer was. It can be pretty thrilling. Number 9. Speaking for the actors. So this is really fun game. Kids love it, and so do adults. If you're a parent, and if your child is even the least bit attracted to acting as a profession, you need to be playing this game with them very often. This is basically a real-life dubbing game. You need to be sitting there very closely, observing a busy area like a subway or airport, to be playing this game. People coming in and going out is essential. There will be people walking alone, some in groups, while others as couples. As you go on to observe those people, you need to have conversations that you think they might be having, or things they are not saying, but they're thinking. We can imagine it won't be possible to find busy places in this lockdown. However, you can play some kind of video on YouTube and practice this game at home. Number 8. I Spy. This cute little simple game can be extremely entertaining, and it is also encouraged to enhance English speaking skills amongst children. First, you need to select an object in the room from lots of other objects and not tell anyone about it. Step 2 is when you say, I spy with my little eye something beginning with an O. If your selected item is an orange for example, you say this. The other players need to now quickly guess the object given the first letter. They'll look around and see if the word starts with O, and it will have a chance. Best part is that this is a brilliant game to play with the entire family. Everyone gets to be involved, everyone gets a turn, and you can bond over it, creating beautiful memories. An added advantage of this game is that it can be played absolutely anywhere. Car, house, park and mall, literally anywhere. Number 7. Life Swap. Another super cute game you can play during your time in quarantine and otherwise is Life Swap. Have you watched the movie, It Follows? Well, this is the game that the lead actor plays with his girlfriend during that movie. It's pretty simple. You just select somebody out of a crowd or in present situation anyone from your family whom you would like to switch your life with. And allow the other game member to guess who that person may be and why you would like to do that. It can be absolutely anyone really. It could be a little dog or even a kid, anything you select works. It's just that this game will lead you into knowing how well your game member knows you and your preferences. Number 6. Scrabble. This is one of the most popular games in the world for people of all ages. In Scrabble, players collect points by making words with letter tiles and eventually placing them on the grid that the packaging of the board game must have inside. Each letter has its own point value, and since there are 100 letter tiles in Scrabble, only one letter tile can fit into a grid space. You can check the score earned by each word by evaluating the points you have earned from each letter in that word. and you will need a notebook to keep an account of everyone's scores in order to play the right way. The surprising fact about its history is that the president of Macy's store played the game on a vacation and absolutely fell in love with it. Upon his return, he ordered quite a few of them for his store, and they instantly became super famous. Number 5. Play Bluff with cards. For those who like funny games and are interested in sharpening their guessing skills, Bluff is your game. It is extremely popular throughout the world, and there would barely be anyone who hasn't played it, or at least heard of it. The ideal number of people to play this game is actually 4. You distribute the cards evenly amongst all members, and then nobody shows their cards to another person playing. Each player gets a turn to put one or more cards face down on the table and say out loud their ranks. It could be true or a bluff. The other players interestingly can choose to challenge the integrity of the player and call it a bluff, thereby getting the cards checked for whether he was truthful about his announcement. For those who have been playing know the kind of thrill it can bring to the table. So go for it today. Number 4. How do you do? Here's another fun game for you guys to play at home. Whether you have friends over or it's just family members. How Do You Do is an awesome game that enhances not just your guessing skills, but also your singing ones. So it's pretty simple. One of the players in the game will be shown a song name and the name of its artist. He will then be required to sing this song, only using the word do. Which means he can only introduce the listeners to the tune of the song, and that too with the best of his singing abilities. The other players will be required to identify the song. This whole thing can turn out to be pretty hilarious, and it's a must-do. It might sound easy, but it's not a piece of cake. So tonight, go ahead and explore your singing abilities with do. Number 3. Charades. This is one game you can never go wrong with. Charades happens to be one of the most popular games amongst kids and adults. There are 2 exclusive teams and 1 nominated person from each team, who tries to act out a TV show or movie or a book for his team members to guess the answer. This is an amazing game that brings people together and allows them to bond over a good laugh. Because more times than not, the team member responsible of acting ends up doing really funny gestures, and the guesses coming from his teammates are also ridiculous most of the times. Apparently, charades used to be a famous riddle game in France back in the 18th century. Back then, the sole agenda of the game was to come out with a name by figuring out a riddle. The word version of the game somehow evolved into an acting game, where players had to guess the word by observing their teammate act. Before we move on, don't forget to watch our other amazing videos mentioned in the description below, or by clicking on the link above. Number 2. Never Have I Ever. Another game that's super fun and a great way to spend your time indoors. Whether you're stuck home in quarantine or you're on a Euro trip with your friends, there's only so much you can talk about. So to make things fun, give it a go. This game must be played with quite a few people. The idea is pretty similar to that of musical chairs, in which there's always one chair lesser than the number of people. You have to arrange the chairs in an inward circle. Interestingly, one person will stand in the middle and announce to all the circle members that one thing they have never done. For example, it could be something like never have I ever danced. Anybody who has ever danced will then get up, leaving their chair empty, and finding a new chair. The person standing in the center is also now hunting for a chair, like this person. And whoever is left without one must be the next to get in the middle and make an announcement of that one thing they have never done. Number 1. Celebrity. Here's another super fun guessing game. Get a small piece of paper per player, a pen and a timer. Also get a hat, a basket and a little bag. In this fun game there are lots of teams of 2 players each that have to guess the maximum number of celebrity names before the time runs out. There are 3 rounds in the game, each with a more advanced level of difficulty than the previous. In this game, players end up spending most time laughing at silly guesses than anything else. Your team only gets to win if they're successful in guessing more celebrities than your rivals. Before starting the game, every player receives multiple blank paper slips. 4 to 5 slips per player, that is. Each player needs to write the name of a different celebrity on each of the slips, and this must be kept discreet. All of these slips are then placed in a bowl or a hat. They are then individually picked up and guessed by the other players. It's a young people's game and best for adults to laugh over after dinner. Thanks for watching. Drop a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe.